Hi, welcome to the first day of December, which also happens to land on day one of BOOKMAS, which is crazy. I'm doing this for the second year in a row now, I think. And I'm in it. I'm in for the ride. I don't know exactly how long BOOKMAS will be this year, but I'm so excited to start the month off with my monthly TBR jar video. Let's see what we're gonna be reading in the month of December. I'll be honest, I don't really have too many books on my radar. I don't think I'm going to be reading too many holiday books just because that's not what I'm feeling. So I think it's time for the TBR cart to shine, and we'll just pick our prompts, see what books match that prompt, and then we'll just go from there. So hopefully this is not too much. We are getting into the holiday spirit this year. We are diving in, so let's just jump right in. I don't have my book club picked yet because my book club is actually tonight on the day that I'm filming this video. So I'll know later today. I don't know right now. So we are going to end up picking 5 books, I think, since that book club choice will be made later today and will count towards my TBR for the month of December. So here is the TBR jar. We have a bunch of prompts. We're gonna pick 5 one at a time and see which books correlate, and then that's how it'll go. I think you guys know how this works. So let's go ahead and pick the first prompt. We're gonna go with this one. It says forced proximity trope. So that sounds like a romance book, which I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really been feeling romance all that much. So let's see what speaks to us today. Also, I'm gonna turn this a little bit so I can see it a bit better. Now, the ones that are standing out to me that I would wanna read are these ones. Oh, I wonder if this is also forced proximity. So I have 4 kind of fantasy, this one's fantasy, these are romance books. Let me see if any of these are forced proximity. All right, I kind of reviewed these 3, but I started with this one, The Wake Up Call by Beth O'Leary, and quite literally, it's the perfect book for this month. It's forced proximity because Izzy and Lucas are given the same shift on the hotel's front desk, and they're working through the holiday season, so I don't see, honestly, a better choice for this prompt than this book. I've also been meaning to pick up Beth O'Leary for like 2 years. I haven't read one of her books in a while, and I remember liking her books a lot. They're very emotional, and they usually have like some sort of mental health tie-in to the romance, which I think is interesting and unique and sets her apart from other authors. So I don't think I'm really going to contest this choice much. These other 2 are kind of forced proximity in a way as well. This is Wes and Liz, book 2 in like a mini series, and they're off to college together. So you can say that's forced proximity in a way, and then this one I think is like marriage of convenience trope, so they're like also together in this small town, but again, there's no better choice than this one, and it just looks very holiday coded. If I'm gonna read a holiday book, it's gonna be this one. It's not super completely revolving around just like Christmas or the holiday. It's more so part of the setting and just time of year. So I think that's perfect. This is going to be our choice for forced proximity trope, book 1 on the December TBR. All right, so that's already 1 book. Let's see what our next prompt is going to be. I'm also running really low on these. Gonna have to restock for next year. All right. Let's go with this small and short one. This one says 4-word title, which is fun because this could be really anything, and we'll just see what falls into that. Ooh, okay. Okay, it doesn't look like I really have too many 4-word titles, which is surprising a little bit. As always, I have book of the month books at the very top shelf, but they're in the back, so you usually can't see them. Okay, this one's a 4-word title. Actually, no, it's 3. I don't know how to count. Also, forgot to tell you guys, but I have 3 other books here, and these are library books, so I like to add those in as well because I love going to my public library, and I picked these up on my last trip, haven't read them, so they're also up for grabs, although for this specific prompt, I don't think they fit. And honestly, I don't know if something's going on. Oh, okay, this one fits as well. I was about to say, I don't think we have very many. We have a lot of 2-word, 3-word, more than 4-word yeah, not too many. So I'm gonna go with one of these two. Margot's Got Money Troubles has been on my mind for the longest time. It's a book of the month book from June of last year. That's how long I've been thinking about reading this book. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, this is gonna have like a movie or TV show adaptation coming out very soon. So obviously I would love to read it before that comes out. And then we also have Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. It's the book I was just talking about for the previous prompt. And this one would be fun as well. It's a YA romance. I loved the first book. I read it earlier this year, so it would be kind of nice to finish off this little series this year. So I'm between these two, and now I feel like I was leaning more towards this one, but I would love to read this as well, just because I would love to go back into Wes and Liz's relationship. Like I mentioned, they're going into college, they're starting that sort of crazy monumental year of their lives together as a new couple. So I think it would be really interesting just to kind of see what the author does with that. But we also have this one that I really want to read and get off my TBR. This one's shorter, this one's longer. I think I'm gonna go, I mean, we already have a romance on here. I really don't know. This is hard. I'm gonna go with this one. And then hopefully I mean, this was already the second prompt that I was able to choose this book for. So we're gonna go with this one and hope that third time's the charm for this book. But we're going with Margot's Got Money Troubles for prompt number 2, a 4-word title. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, just making sure. Let's go for prompt number 3. It's gonna be, we'll grab this one. And it says, a cozy read. I don't really know what a cozy read would be. I guess something that's potentially fantasy. I find fantasy to be very cozy. Actually, now that I'm talking about fantasy and a cozy read, I know exactly what I want to pick. And you guys cannot even see it, I think, because it's on this bottom shelf. And that is this book, book 6 in the Harry Potter series. It's Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. So I'm currently reading book 5 right now. So hopefully I'm able to finish that, and then I can jump into this starting December 1st, or we'll just see kind of what happens. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose this one. My goal is to finish the entire Harry Potter series by the end of the year. This is the second to last book, so hopefully, you know, it's written in the stars that I'll be able to do that, because again, incredible FOMO, just want to see what this series is about. I really want to go to, what's it called? Hogwarts at Universal Studios. I've been before a couple years ago, but obviously I had never read the books or watched the movies, so I didn't really know what to expect, and I liked it. It was cool, but I think it would hit so much better now having read the books and watched the movies. I do watch every movie after each book, so that's kind of the trend that I'm going on. So this is gonna be book 3 on the December TBR. Perfect, cozy, fantasy. These are borrowed from a friend. I recommend you do that as well if you want to read the series. Or rent them out from the public library. I promise you they have it. All right, prompt number 4. Let's see what we get. We'll go with this one, and it says set in a fictional world. So that would obviously be a fantasy, unless we actually, some of these are fantasy or fictional worlds. Like for example, Wildside, this is set in Rose Hill, the town of Rose Hill. I don't believe that's real. I think it's like based on Canada, but I don't think there's an actual town called Rose Hill in Canada. I might be wrong. But I'm also obviously kind of leaning more towards a fantasy. This would be a great pick. I've also really been wanting to read Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil this year. Wait, I know exactly what book I want to choose. One of my library books, and it's actually The Winners by Frederick Bachman. This book is ginormous, and I've been waiting to read this book literally since January of this year. This is a trilogy. This is book 3, the last and final book. I read the first and second book earlier this year, and I knew I wanted to wait to read this one in December or January because, like, look at the cover. It's very cold weather coded, and so I think I'm gonna choose this one. It's a very thick book. This takes place in Beartown, which is a fictional place that Frederick Bachman came up with, and this town definitely has so much history, so much tension, just so much going on in it, and I would love to read the last and final book in this series based on Beartown and just see what it's about. I do really think this is gonna make me cry. I think the second book in the series made me cry. It's a very emotional book. I'll explain more once I dive into what each of these books are about, but no doubt about it, this is going to be the 4th book on my TBR, and it's getting a very thick and like tall because I have a couple of thick books on there. I feel like I have definitely been reading and grabbing more thick books recently, which is interesting because I feel like I'm still reading about the same amount of books I read like typically, and trust me, a lot of the books I've been reading lately are very thick, so that's cool and exciting because usually they're very intimidating to me, and now I'm more like, let's just see what it's going to be about. If I like it, it doesn't feel long. That's what I've learned. So take that tip from me. If you're intimidated, just try it. If you love it, I promise you're not gonna want to put it down, and it's gonna not feel as long as it is, and you're gonna even wish it was longer. Trust me. All right, so we're gonna go in with our fifth and final choice. So let's see what the fifth and final prompt of this year is going to be, which is really sad. Also exciting, but also pretty sad. All right, the last and final prompt of 2024. Whoa. Of 2025. I'm still in last year. This year went by way too fast, but let's just see what it's gonna be. Let's go with this one. All right, this one says a writer by two authors. I think I meant to put written by two authors. I should have something along those lines on here. So here's the situation. There is one book on this TBR cart that is written by two authors, and that is Dishonestly Yours by Kristen and Becca Ritchie. They're sisters, but unfortunately I forgot to take this out of my cart because I'm not reading this book. I want to unhaul it. I just don't want it anymore. It sat on the cart for too long and I have no interest in reading it, so I don't find the point in me forcing myself to put it on the cart or to put it on the TBR, not reading it, not enjoying it. We're not doing that this year. So this is unfortunately disqualified, and no other book on here is written by two authors, at least not that I can clearly see. So we're gonna go with another prompt. I guess the last prompt of 2025 didn't want to be that one, so it's gonna have to be a different one. Let's see what we get this time. Now, hopefully this is actually the last prompt of 2025. All right. Looks like it's going to be nonfiction, which honestly I love that. I tried really hard to read I think 10 nonfiction books this year, and I don't think I'm at 10. I'm at a couple. I don't know exactly how many, but the good news is I do have a book from the library sitting right behind me that is nonfiction that I actually do really want to read. And that is Detained, A Boy's Journal of Survival and Resilience. Sorry. This is by D. Esperanza. Oh, two authors. Well, it's meant to be. It's meant to be. Wow, I didn't see that. It slipped my eye, and I'm very glad it did because it just shows that it was meant to be chosen. Now, this is pretty short. This is, I believe, about a child who was separated from his family and underwent like an immigration camp under Trump's zero tolerance immigration policy. And that itself already gives me chills. To be able to write a book about your experience during that is amazing, and I cannot wait to see what it's about. I know it's probably going to be very sad. It says, okay, the kid was 13 years old. He lost his caregivers, his beloved grandmother and uncle. Oh my God, this is so sad. He was left alone due to their passing, so he made the difficult decision to head north with his cousins, hoping to reunite with his parents in El Norte. That is very sad, and it's gonna be emotional, but I'm ready, I think, and this is gonna be the last and final book on my TBR. So these are the 5 books on my December TBR. We are missing one, my book club read, but again, I don't have that right now. So let's talk a little about what these are about. Book 1 on our December TBR is a romance. It is The Wake Up Call by Beth O'Leary. I kind of already informed you guys a little bit of what this is about. So this is 2 individuals, Liz and Lucas, who are working at a hotel front lobby throughout the holiday season. And it sounds like Izzy found a guest's like ring and returned it to her, and the guest was super thankful, and I don't know if she like gave her something. The reward convinces management that this might be the way to fix everything. So they find 4 rings sitting in the lost and found, and the race is on for Izzy and Lucas basically to save their hotel and their jobs. So that's kind of the brief synopsis of what this is about. Like I mentioned, I've read Beth O'Leary before, haven't in a couple years, and I'm very excited to dive back into her work and see what it's like now and how I would feel about it now, because I think I read 2 or 3 of her books in 2023 and 2022. So I feel like that was a different me, and this is the new me. Our reading likes change, so I don't know how I'll feel about it. Hopefully I still love it because I do have another Beth O'Leary book on this cart, but I'm glad I'm reading it because it's been sitting on here for over a year, I believe. So it also has a little bit of Christmas spirit because it's taking place around the holidays, which is perfect for this month. And this is really the only book on the TBR that has like that little holiday cheer in it. That's book one. Book two is Margot's Got Money Troubles. This is contemporary fiction about a woman named Margot, and she's had a very kind of rocky childhood, and now as an adult, she finds herself pregnant, has a baby, is struggling very much with finances and just kind of that coming of age chapter in her life. So she turns to a website where she can kind of make money really quickly by doing some things that society doesn't always deem right. And that is a journey that we're gonna go on with our main character. I have seen this book, like I had mentioned, be talked about for quite a while now, and it's been very high on my TBR for a while, so I'm very excited to read this book. I think the cover is really interesting. Rufi Thorpe too, I feel like I've heard of her. I don't think I've ever read a book by her, but nonetheless, I'm still very excited, and I love reading coming of age stories when our main characters are struggling because I like to see them through that. I like to see how they get through it, right? It usually takes a village to help, especially with a new age mom, and I'm just very excited to see kind of what adventure we overcome. Next up, we have a YA fantasy. This is book 6, year 6 of Harry Potter. It's The Half-Blood Prince. Do I know what that is about? No, I don't read into any of like the backs of these books when going into them because I just want to be completely surprised. So I don't know what this is going to be about. This is the second to last book, the penultimate book. Don't know anything about it, but I'm trying to finish this series. So this is also on the TBR. And why I had mentioned that I am borrowing this whole series from a friend, which thank God, because obviously I have all of them easily and accessibly, is because I don't support the author. So if you guys want to read this books or this inspires or influences you to read the books, I definitely recommend getting them secondhand from the public library. There are so many books out there or copies of this book out there just because it's obviously super popular that I would recommend doing that. So next up we have The Winners by Frederick Bachman, our chunkiest book this month, which is a little scary because I'm still going over that, fear, getting over it. But it is a book that I'm very excited for. I've been looking forward to it all year. It's the final book in a trilogy that I know is gonna make me cry, so I'm looking forward to it. It's also very kind of winter coated, and this is about Beartown. In the first book, it follows a junior hockey team, which this junior hockey team really is kind of like the identity of this town. Everyone either is on the team or knows someone from the team, is managing the team, so they all have an investment in this junior hockey team, which is obviously a lot of pressure for the young kids on the team. And we follow them around, and obviously something very tragic and traumatic happens to one of the characters in the first book, so we kind of follow the fallout of that, and a lot of characters just do not do the right thing. And the second book, it's just people really trying to live through the events of the first book, and it's very sad because there are things in that book that are very unexpected. At least they were for me, and caught me off guard and definitely had me tearing up. So I already know this one is going to be very sad. It's longer than all the other books. This is my second or third Frederick Bachman book of the year, and I don't love his writing, but this series I will say is definitely really, really good, and I've loved it so far. So I think I will definitely enjoy it. I don't know if I'm gonna pick up another Frederick Bachman book after this series though, just because the other books that I've read from him have not hit the way this series has, but I will let you guys know obviously my thoughts once I finish this. Last but not least, we have also, that is contemporary fiction. Last but not least, we have nonfiction. This is another library book. I also kind of talked to you guys a little bit about what this book is about. It's called Detained. It's definitely going to be another very emotional book. I love reading books though about people's journey to like the United States, because I feel like a lot of people talk about the journey and talk about immigration, but they don't actually know the struggles people are facing and imminent death that they are facing back in their home countries, and that they really have no other option than to immigrate to a new country. And immigrating itself is not easy, it's not cheap, it's very life risking, and this is gonna destroy me because this is about a 13-year-old boy. A 13-year-old boy trying to find a better life for himself because his caregivers passed away. Wow, and it says the boy struggles to survive a long and treacherous 5-month journey through Central America and Mexico. This is gonna wreck me, but I highly recommend and challenge you to maybe pick up a book about immigration. There are so many stories out there that deserve to be heard, and I feel like once you read about someone's story going through a situation like that, I think it'll just open your mind up a little bit, and I think that's important to hear other people's stories. Like, that's how the world goes round. That's how we learn to live and change things, is by hearing other people's lives and tribulations. And this topic is definitely one that I'm very passionate about and one that I think more people should read about. So very excited to read this book, and I will definitely report back what I think. But for now, those are all the books on my December TBR. Bye. I'm just kidding. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you guys in my other BOOKMAS videos, and I'm so excited. Hopefully you guys are too. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.